Yo, YouTube, what's up? It's Zen. So, we're going to make this video today about Black Ops 6 beta and if this game is for you or not. Now, I've played the beta for about 15 hours, but I've been playing COD all my life since like COD 2, so I have a lot of knowledge on Call of Duty, and I'm going to do my best to kind of formulate a system to help you determine if this game's for you or not. And we're going to cover the four main features of Call of Duty multiplayer, in my opinion, and that's guns and gunplay, maps, movement, and create a class. I feel like those four elements are the core of COD multiplayer, and so I'm going to talk about those. And if I didn't cover anything, just let me know in the comments. Before we get into it, I just want to say one last thing. If this video helped you in any way, please leave a like or subscribe. That lets me know if I should continue to make content like this. I'm a very small YouTube channel and I'm trying to grow it, so thank you for all your feedback, support, everything. It means a lot to me. Let's get into the video, alright? Let's start off with number one, guns and gunplay. Massive thumbs up. I think it's really fun. The guns feel good. They kind of feel unique. And of course, not all the guns are in the game, right? And I'm going to be straight up honest. I really only used like three main guns, being the XM4, the AK, and then the PDW, as well as the MP5 a bit. But I haven't tried a whole lot of sniping and things like that. I know some people are saying the sniping's hard, but rewarding and still fun. So I'm sure once you get a loadout or a kit for it, it'll feel good. But yeah, I've mostly been sticking to ARs and subs in this game, and I say it's fun. The ARs actually feel like assault rifles too. And what I mean by that is they actually feel like they have a purpose. Sometimes in COD, the submachine guns have such crazy range and like no damage drop off that you can just use a sub because you have the movement of the sub and then you have the range of an AR. Why would you ever use an AR? But in this game, the subs actually do have a damage fall off. There are builds where the attachments give extended range, obviously, but overall, I'd say the subs really good in close range to mid range, and then the ARs do play a role. So like having one rifler on your team holding the longer lines of sight and angles definitely will come in clutch. The XM4 feels great. And yeah, like I said, each item has its place, it's kind of unfortunate in the CODs where the subs are just so powerful and dominant that they make ARs obsolete. That was kind of like what the release of Cold War felt like initially, I remember. But overall, I think the gunplay is really fun, and the attachments for guns is another thing I really enjoy. One thing that was kind of driving me crazy about MW3 was just the amount of attachments in that game were so unnecessary. And trust me, I'm all for customization, but man, they had like, for example, with the underbarrels in that game, there were like 30 underbarrels and people used like, I don't know, a handful, maybe like 6. So it's annoying when there's so much obsolete items and guns in the game. It's like, just simplify things and make everything good. And that's so far in this beta what they did. By default, you have 5 points for your weapon, so you can pick 5 out of 9 attachment options. As you can see on the bottom of the screen, there's 9 slots. By default, you have 5 points. And then there is a wildcard perk that lets you get an additional 3 points, bringing your total points to 8. And so if you run that wildcard, you can customize your gun 8 out of 9 slots. That wildcard's not in the beta, but it'll be an option in the full game, okay? So weapon customization feels really good. The attachments and look of the gun totally remind me of Cold War. And what I mean by that is when you go look at the attachments and how the pros and cons, how they kind of balance the attachments, it totally reminds me of Cold War, just kind of straight to the point. There's some little quirky ones, like this barrel gives you a headshot multiplier kind of thing. That's a total Treyarch attribute. Damage range with no cons. Damage and bullet velocity with no cons. So you can see things are pretty like straightforward. Optics, you have like 12 red dots to pick from. Again, this is the beta. I'm sure there'll be more stuff in the full release of the game, but it's pretty simple. Underbarrels right here, you have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 underbarrels. They all serve a purpose and they're all valid, right? So it's like, that's what I love about a game, when everything has a purpose and is actually useful. So it feels pretty good to have everything kind of simplified in terms of attachments, and while having plenty of options to actually build useful guns. Okay, so for me, guns and gunplay, massive thumbs up. All right, guys, so number 2 on my notes. I made a whole note sheet for this video. Take a look. Number 2, movement. Massive thumbs up. I love the movement in this game. I think it's so fun. It's gonna be amazing once I develop more muscle memory. And, you know, I know there's some players that are already absolutely cracked. I actually kind of took a long break from COD. I haven't really played a COD multiplayer in like a year, basically. I played MW3 for like, I no-lifed MW3 hard. I put in like 100+ hours in the first week, and then I didn't really touch the game at all after the first week. But movement in this game is amazing. It's one of my favorite boots on the ground movement ever in Call of Duty, if not the number one boots on the ground movement. It feels like the perfect mesh of 2019 simplistic slide canceling and flow with the animations of Cold War, if you know what I mean, like how your screen moves, how the animations of the gun move, and your arms and stuff. It's kind of hard to explain, but it feels like it feels like 2019 COD while looking like Cold War, if that makes sense. So it's like the perfect blend. The Omni movement is so sick. There's gonna be some insane plays with that. You can slide cancel in reverse now. Like it's so it's pretty intuitive too, at least on mouse and keyboard. Like all I gotta do is A or D for like left or right slide cancel, and then obviously W and slide for the normal forward slide, and then D and slide for the reverse slide. So it's pretty intuitive. It feels super smooth, and I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna lead to some crazy plays. It's a massive plus for me. I love the movement in this game. Yeah, like I said earlier, if you like normal 2019 COD boots on the ground feel, you're gonna love this. It's amazing. Yeah, this Omni movement feels awesome. All right, guys, so number 3, we're going to talk about the maps in the beta. Now, there are 4 maps available, okay? We have Skyline, Scud, Derelict, Rewind, and then technically there's 5 because Protocol is the training map and you're just there solo. I know some people did some jailbroken private lobby matchmaking on it or whatever, but obviously that's not in the game, so or it's not meant to be in the game. So I'm gonna give the maps a no, simply because I only enjoy one of the 4 maps in the game. Now I'll say this, I'll go through and rate them real quick. Skyline, I give a 5 out of 5. I think Skyline's incredible, amazing designed map. It's fun, it looks good, it's a perfect map for Omni movement. There's 2 levels, so you can play verticality, you can jump off a lot of things, you can do crazy 360s. It's perfectly designed for slide canceling corners and Omni movement. There's a massive pool in the middle you can sprint jump off into and dive off into. It's crazy. It's an awesome map. Scud, kind of a more open map. It reminds me of Airfield, kind of. Crap, what was that map called in World at War? Airfield or Runway or something? Man, I forget the name. But it's pretty open, but there's a lot of trenches where you can run flank routes. There's like 2 main trench lanes, and then kind of a mid lane where it's like more of a cross between like this satellite in the image and then a building. So there's a lot of long range engagements there. And then the left side of the map is kind of like just an open route with some stairs and cover elements and stuff like that. It's an interesting map, but I'd probably give it a 2.7 out of 5. Derelict is just your standard 3-lane map. There's some cool, you can jump on some of these train cars and get some cool spots. Overall, it's just a linear 3-lane map, and it feels very tight. Like it's not that wide of a map. I don't know. I don't really enjoy it too much. I give it like a 2.8 or maybe a 3 out of 5. Okay. And then Rewind, I personally just don't enjoy at all. Mid lane are like all of these offices and it's like a shopping center. So there's a lot of stores that run perpendicular to the other main 2 lanes. The outside lane is like vehicles and docks for the trucks to unload product and stuff. And then the right lane is like the parking lot basically for the shopping center. So Those are both open, and then the middle of the map, the middle lane is like these stores that run perpendicular to the 2 lanes. So again, I don't really like Rewind at all. Maybe I'll grow to like it more, but right now currently I give it like a 1 out of 5. So since I only enjoy one of the 4 maps, I'm gonna give the maps a no. As of now, they're not for me. I will say one other thing: the spawns in this game are crazy. Okay, the spawns are always flipping, they're moving, and I think it's a good and a bad thing at the same time. Overall, I think it's fun because it just adds so much speed and momentum to each match. It's like you can't hold an angle. Like it feels like if you stay still in one spot, you're just gonna die because the spawns flip so much. So I do like that because I prefer COD when everyone's running around going crazy. Like that's when COD's fun. When people are playing scared and don't want to run and they're afraid to be heard by their footsteps and stuff, it makes COD boring. So I like it for that reason. Then sometimes on the bigger maps, I don't like the crazy spawn flipping because it's like kind of hard to get crosses on certain spots and then you just die to your back. So personally, as of now, I give the maps a no. I think I'll grow to like them more, and I'm hoping full release has some other awesome maps like Skyline. Okay, so here we are. This is how the create a class works in Black Ops 6. It's pretty straightforward. You have your primary, secondary, melee, and then you have your tactical. In the beta, you have the option of running concussion, flash, stim, or prox alarm. The stim shots are great, and that's what myself and everyone else has been running mostly. And then you got frag, Simtex, or thermo grenade. And then your field upgrades. Here are the different field upgrades. You got assault pack, trophy system, neurogas, and an acoustic amp. The field upgrades are pretty awesome and straightforward. The wild card slot down here is great. You only have 2 options in the beta so far. Full release will have more. Overkill allows for 2 primaries, and then greed, it lets you have an extra perk. Okay. And speaking of perks, I think they did an amazing job with perks in this game. They all feel really fun to use, and I personally enjoy how they designed the system. Here we can see perk 1, perk 2, perk 3, and they're grouped by color. So if you pick any 3 red, any 3 blue, or any 3 green, since you have 3 of the same color perks, it grants you a specialized bonus for that color. So any 3 of the same color perks, you'll get the corresponding color bonus. It's basically like another perk, honestly, and I think that's a pretty cool idea. The perks are really fun and feel great in this game, and I am a big fan of how they did create a class in Black Ops 6. So that basically covers the 4 main pillars of COD multiplayer. Guns, I give thumbs up. Movement, massive thumbs up. Maps, as of now, with the 4 maps available, I give a thumbs down just because I only like Skyline and the other maps I feel like are kind of mid. And then create a class, massive thumbs up. So overall, the multiplayer, I think it's great. Now, I will say this beta is very competitive. I'd say 1 in 5 matches feel like a normal matchmaking COD experience with like minimal SBMM. How many M's did I say? SBMM. But the other remaining 4 of 5 games feel like absolute, like I get matched with like cracked out COD demons, dude. They feel like ranked lobbies. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. If you're good at COD, you're good at COD, and that's awesome. But the beta is difficult because I think that's kind of just how all COD betas work, especially during the early access closed weekend. Because most of the time, that kind of separates the casuals from the non-casuals. The people who are pre-ordering the game and dropping $100 on a pre-order, and I know you don't have to drop 100 on the pre-order, but a lot of people did. I did. Again, am solo queuing, so my experience has been solo queuing, and yeah, I'd say about 1 in 5 games feel normal. The other ones feel super intense, and everyone's really freaking good. You can look at the performance and kind of KD of everyone in the lobby. Everyone's performing kind of at the same level, which also shows that it is like a ranked match, you know? It's not like a few people have a 0.5 KD and the whole other team has like a 3. It's like everyone's kind of a low 1 to like a high 2 KD, but everyone has like cracked movement and they know how to play the game. So that kind of shows the skill of everyone in the same lobby. So I think the full game will feel a lot better than this beta in terms of fun and enjoyment. For those of you that didn't pre-order the game and you're going to try this beta weekend too, I will say good luck, because all of the really good players are going to have all of the maps on lock. They're going to have the meta guns, the meta perks. It's going to be really brutal for the people that are playing weekend 2 for the first time. If you watch this video and then experience really tough lobbies in the beta, just know I have a feeling that the full game will be better and not so try hard and sweaty. What I've observed and noticed in this beta, how it may kind of correlate to the full release of the game, okay? So I'm gonna be honest, unfortunately, gaming in 2024, you're just going to play against cheaters in like basically every game, and that's the truth and fact of the matter. But hopefully it's at a minimum. You know, there's been some times in COD, like when Caldera came out, I know cheating was really bad during that Vanguard Caldera era in Warzone, but hopefully it's pretty minimal. And then Warzone for Black Ops 6 I think is going to be insane. Again, it's all going to boil down to weapon balancing and things like that, but this movement on Verdansk I think is going to be crazy. I think it's going to be really fun, and I have high hopes for Warzone. And I'm not even a big Warzone player, I'm going to be honest. I prefer PUBG style battle royale, and hopefully the things they add to this game complement it and don't make it worse. And what I mean by that is hopefully the content they decide to add will complement the existing core features of the game, such as perks, field upgrades, weapons, attachments. I hope the things that they add don't overpower and become broken. Nice, just got an update requires restart. We love to see that. It wouldn't be a COD review without this update require restart thing popping up. But so hopefully the post-launch content supports the game. And yeah, that's really all of my thoughts. Again, one more time, guns, massive thumbs up. Movement, massive thumbs up. Maps, I do not like, unfortunately. I like 1 out of 4 maps so far. And then the creator class I think is great. Now, if you're still unsure on if this COD is for you or not, drop any comments below. I could do my best to answer them, or others watching the video. Feel free to help anyone out in the comments. Like I said earlier, give the Weekend 2 beta a try, but just know the lobbies will be pretty gnarly probably. The full release should be better, okay? COD betas are always usually kind of brutal, so just keep that in mind. Let me know if you guys have any other questions. Don't forget to like or subscribe if this helped you in any way. Thank you so much for watching. Catch you in the next one, guys. Have a good day. I'm gonna restart my game now.